Alright, so today I am going to teach you how to have muscles like an Instagram influencer. Alright, before we get started, you're going to have to take a few steps. So, you're going to have to get in kind of half decent shape, right? Have a little bit of muscle definition showing. Find some good overhead lighting. Some harsh lighting is preferable. And then take a picture of yourself or get someone to take a picture of you. Doesn't really matter, but once you get that picture, we'll get started here. So you're going to take that photo, bring it over here into Photoshop. Right, I got this one here that we're going to work on today. And first and foremost, what you're going to do is you're going to go to filters, go to camera raw filters. Alright, so the first thing you do if you want to make yourself an Instagram influencer here is you have to make yourself look ripped up as anything. So it doesn't matter if it's artistic, it doesn't matter. We're just trying to sell some diuretic teas or something like that. So jack up the contrast, something like that. You're going to want your clarity up too, because that obviously brings out all those kind of muscle definition, whatever else, right? Might go down a little bit there. And if you're kind of happy with that, then you can keep it there, or you can mess around, kind of highlights, bring that down maybe a little bit. Okay, there we go. So now this is the important step. So once you get all that done, you're going to go into filter and you're going to go to liquefy. Awesome. All right, so first and foremost, what you're going to want to do is change any kind of bone structure that you're not happy with. Literally change the way that you look. You know, this is only obvious to those that know you in person or have an understanding of what anatomy and what is physically possible. So we have two tools, your bloat tool, your pucker tool. Either one works real great. We're going to start off here with the pucker tool. Get kind of a nice size brush here and just kind of bring in those obliques to, you know, make waist size look quite a bit smaller. If any step you don't like, you just hit Control Z. Alright, excellent. So next you have your bloat tool. Click that here. Make sure that your brush is the right size. You can zoom in for greater detail. Right here. And then you're just going to accentuate where the muscles are. So the greater your understanding of anatomy, the better here. Oops. So you want to make the muscles bigger where they could be bigger. Just like that. You know, make sure it's symmetrical. Might take you a few goes at it, but you'll get it in no time, I'm sure. Alright, so obviously now that you see that I'm getting started here, you're going to see the problem of the background here getting warped. That's always the giveaway for your transformation photos. So there is ways around that. Basically, you can create masks and erase that, or even cut out yourself and do it as a separate layer. But we're not going to worry about any of that today. All we're going to do is, you know, just push it out, because a lot of people won't even look. They'll just take what they see as literal truth, because who's ever been deceptive on the internet? I'm just going to bloat out here, make the light a little bigger, right? So here's the tricky part. You want to make sure that you get both arms done, even the one that isn't flexing, because that could be your giveaway. Lots of those you see. Right, and now you see that obviously the pixels are all distorted here. That's a good giveaway. You can fix that later if you so choose, but we're not going to worry about that for now. Alright, so quickly I'm just going to show you another awesome tool. This you don't see quite as much, but you have a face aware filter here, so this knows exactly where your face is. So you can change your, you know, face width, your jawline if you want a nice big jawline. And then face, you can do that. Make your chin nice and big, so you can be a bigger Chad, you know. That's always great. And put down your forehead a little bit if you want to look like you have a slightly better hairline, because that harsh overhead lighting might make it look like your hair is thinning or something like that. But that's alright. Alright, once you've found that you are satisfied with that, you can also play around with all these other settings. I won't go too deep into that. You hit OK, and look at the difference, right? If we hit Control Z, boom, right away. You can see that. But we're going to keep it there. You can spend more time on this, make it more refined, but for today's purpose, we're going to keep it there. So look right here, this is an obvious giveaway. That's what we're going to do. Take our clone stamp tool, grab a piece of that, and connect it up. All you have to do is hit Alt to grab a piece, place it over. There. Should be good enough. I don't think anyone's going to zoom in too close. It's Instagram anyways. If there's anything that you find that's too defined or anything like that, or too noisy, you can use your blur tool. Blur it out. It's good for the areas where pixels are obviously stretched out. Increase up the blur radius there, and just do you some favors. So obviously, one thing, if you have been following Instagram influencers for a while, one thing you do not want to have is any imperfections or skin texture. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab a color around the area, make sure I drop the opacity a little bit, and kind of color in any of those kind of more oily spots. So you don't want to have skin texture. Influencers never have skin texture, so if you have any spots right here, you can obviously grab your clone stamp tool, use your Alt, and voila, fixed immediately. And just kind of go over that a little bit more, fix it up. Alright, you can even use your clone stamp tool to kind of fix your hairline if you so need. That harsh overhead lighting, not always the most flattering, right? Let's go down here, grab some of that fun stuff. Awesome. Looking more Chad-like already. Alright, so now you can, if you want, try to increase how tanned you look, grab a kind of more shadowy flesh color, increase the size of your brush, make sure opacity is down, and you know, you can kind of paint over yourself to give yourself more of a tan. I'm going to increase the brush size a little bit more here. Boom. Pretty quick and easy way to makes you look like you just went to the Bahamas or something like that. Pretty quick and easy. Alright, so with those simple steps, you're ready to be an Instagram influencer. You can sell tummy tuck tees or whatever else products that you want. So, obviously this is tongue-in-cheek, I'm sure everyone picked up on that. But there are things like this online. There is a lot of Photoshop, there's a lot of misleading information, and it sometimes is in the name of selling products, sometimes in the name of insecurities. But I think it's something that everyone should be aware of and learn to spot the signs. And it's not something that necessarily you should start calling everyone out for that does it, or even you know, send hate online, but just be aware of it. And like, obviously if someone's being shady and they need to be called out, do it. But I'm not trying to throw shade at anyone or call out anyone in particular, but just be aware that people will edit their photos. They will Photoshop themselves to look better than they do. They'll Photoshop before and after pictures of clients and stuff like that to sell products. It's a dangerous place to go, or a dangerous path to go down, because if you start doing that, then basically you'll never be as good as you present yourself online. You'll never add up, and you'll never be satisfied, because you'll constantly view yourself in a Photoshopped lens. To mess around with lighting, color, and stuff like that can be more artistic than necessarily changing the way that you are physically built. I don't think Photoshop is necessarily evil, or anyone that uses it is always doing so like maliciously, but like I use it for creative means and, you know, creating YouTube thumbnails and stuff like that, and I enjoy the process of creating, but I don't mess around with the way I look, and I never try to sell products based on photoshopping something. Just be careful of that online. If people are pushing certain products, pushing a certain image, and, you know, showing off cars, you know, showing off other things that don't have to do with the information that they're presenting, and with giving you valuable knowledge that you can apply to yourself, then what's the point of watching it? What are you gaining from it? You know, the best channels you see are always the people that will just give out information pretty much for free and give you like stuff that you can apply to your own life. And they don't, like, some, obviously they have to make a living and they have to ask for money for certain, but like most of the best channels will not push it. A great example of this is Athlete X. Great information, great physiotherapy, information about rehabilitating injuries, what you might be doing wrong, great depth of understanding of anatomy and all that stuff. And he does have products online, but he's never pushing it. That's never his main thing. Like, if you enjoy his stuff and information, obviously you might go and seek more. Johnny Candido, HQ, I think his channel is called, also another good example. Excellent high-level powerlifter, great information, gives free programs, and if you feel that you benefit from it, then you're able to give him a donation. The only way to really get good results and to feel good about the way you look and all that stuff is, one, to be consistent and to be disciplined, right? Because one, that is what's going to change body composition or whatever else you're trying to do, build those skills, and as well as it gives you confidence because you're feeling confident about the way you're behaving, so naturally that confidence exudes in the way that you present yourself, and that is the most attractive thing, not the way you look. And then also, a lot of people, you know, we're all born different. We're all born, you know, with different natural abilities to put on muscle and not. But you shouldn't let that determine someone's value or information. You know, there's people that don't necessarily look like they know what they're talking about, or they don't look the most jacked, but they sometimes have the most information, and vice versa. Some people are just naturally gifted, but they wouldn't know anything about how to train someone else. So try to take everything you see online with a grain of salt. Make sure that you get the full story before, you know, dumping too much time and energy into something, and be careful about what you place value on in your life. The more energy and time that you give something, the more you tell yourself and your brain that it is an important thing. So if you're constantly analyzing the way other people look, the way you look, why can't I look like them, then you're telling your brain that basically that is the most important thing. Instead, just focus on things that you can change, what you can change in your training program, the information that you have, your understanding of physics, your understanding of anatomy, that sort of stuff will carry over into the way you train. And, you know, go seek valuable information from high-level coaches, and just naturally you'll develop into the person that you want to be. Well, so hopefully you got something out of this. I don't know, just kind of a joke, but just based on what I've been seeing online, and thought it was good information maybe to put out there, to not take everything so serious. So we'll see you in the next one. Peace.